Hi, I'm Alyssa Luffy, and this is sort of my first foray into like a vlog type thing, and the reason I'm doing this is because I don't think I'm going to get my Coraline episode out in time for Halloween, and I'm busy working on the depression video for Lupus, which is a bit draining, so I wanted to do something that was a bit easier in the meantime, and it's not actually about a kids show, it's about the new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina that's on Netflix. But my boyfriend and I just watched the first episode last night and I wanted to talk about it because, yeah, I enjoyed it overall. There's things I think that worked about it, there's things I think that didn't, and because Halloween is my favourite time of year, I wanted to talk about something sort of creepy and spooky. So I wanted to talk about this. So yeah, this probably is going to be a bit jumbled and a bit scattered because I don't have a script or anything, obviously, and I'm just kind of saying it as it comes, and I'm going to give you fair warning now, I might swear a bit. I don't usually do that in my videos. I've made quite a conscious effort not to swear, but because this is a more mature show and because I'm not scripting it, I might either accidentally swear or just like, you know, when talking about the show, swearing's kind of a bit more appropriate. I don't want to say appropriate, but more acceptable because it's more sort of intense show and it's more prone to swearing in the show itself as well. So yeah, first I want to talk about the good things about it. I really like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is fantastic. It's got this really cool sort of, well, it's obviously about witches and it's set around the time of Halloween, so it's got this really good spooky autumnal Halloween type feel to it. Especially when characters are in the woods and stuff, and it's kind of this mix of foggy and the dead trees sort of for autumn and the leaves all around. It's just a really good atmosphere. There are certain scenes that I absolutely love, certain sequences. The scarecrow and the hedge maze and the hay maze is really, really cool. I love the design of the scarecrow and it was just absolutely brilliant. I loved it. The scene with the spiders. I hate spiders. I'm terrified of them. They freak me out. So I was very uncomfortable during that scene. That's like my worst nightmare. But yeah, that's why I think it worked so well, because people like me are going to be absolutely terrified by that bit. Bits like the scene where she eats the apple. And she sees the hanged witches and the sort of devil coming out the tree. That was brilliant. It was just really well shot. The visuals were all fantastic. Like even like the little details of like the blood running down her mouth that you might even not notice if you're just watching it for the first time. She can see the blood in her hands. She actually looks at the blood in her hands. It focuses on that, but there's actually like blood coming from her mouth as well for when she's eating the apple. And I thought that was really cool. Things like that, it's just really nice little touches. I like Susie, the character. I'm kind of annoyed we didn't get to spare more time with that. I'll talk about that a bit more in a second, but just like in the first sort of scene where they're in, or the second sort of scene where they're in the diner, and they're talking about the movie they've seen, Night of the Living Dead, and she's like talking really enthusiastically about this movie, and I was just like, that's the kind of people I hang around with, that's the kind of people that I like to know, so she's my kind of girl. But the problem with Susie, she's not in it enough, in my opinion. She's only really got that one scene, and that's kind of the problem with Susie, because if you watched the first episode, you know that she gets attacked by 4 football players, American football players in her high school. They basically assault her and they lift up her top to see if she has breasts because she is either transgender or agendered, I'm not sure. And we don't get to see it. Because the main character is Sabrina, we get to see it from her eyes, so she didn't actually witness the assault, but she finds her in the sort of locker room crying. Sort of asks her what happened. But the problem is we don't get to see Susie deal with it. We just get that one scene of her crying in the locker room. And we don't get to see her reaction after that. We don't get to see how she's dealing with the trauma of that. We just get to see how Sabrina deals with it. And I'm just like, well, that's grand and all, but it didn't happen to you. I don't care what your reaction is to it. It's nice that you're trying to support your friend, but it's happened to her. I want to see how she's dealing with it. And sort of Sabrina goes off and decides that she's gonna set up this club for women to sort of help protect her friend, which is really, really nice, but I want to see Susie's reaction to it. We don't get her reaction to this at all, apart from one scene of her just saying, oh, I can't believe you guys did this for me, and then that's it. That's it. You don't get to see her reaction at all to any of it, and it really bothered me. That sort of kind of leads me into the things I didn't like about it. Sabrina's... Well, actually, I want to talk about the sort of militant feminism that's going on in this show a bit. Sabrina and her friends decide to set up this club to sort of protect women. And sort of her and her friend are talking about it, who's another girl. And Harvey, her boyfriend, is there as well. And they're sort of like, oh, we want to set up this club to take down the the white patriarchy, and stick it to the head teacher, the principal, who's a white male who won't let them set up the club and suggests that Susie move to another school. She doesn't want to get attacked, so yeah, he's an asshole. But Harvey is sat there during this scene that like, wait, what? I'm a white male. I want to help protect my friend, but no, this club is for women. You're not allowed to help protect your friend, Harvey. That's the girls' job. They need to do it themselves. They don't need no men. And Harvey's like, yeah, but she's my friend too. But that never gets addressed. He's just sort of sat there during that scene awkwardly like, well, I'm the bad guy in this scene, so I'm just not gonna talk. Which is a bit of a shame, because like Harvey obviously loves his friends as well. I wanted to see him sort of help out and maybe try and like find out who these guys are and help out a bit more, but no, he doesn't get to help out because he's a guy. And I also found it, I wonder if this was deliberate. I found it really ironic that the witches are all very women power, feminist, we don't need men to rule us kind of thing. Yet, right at the end, they've got this guy that comes in who is a high priest in the sort of witches' religion or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, he's in charge, and he's white male, obviously, and it's just like, we don't need no men throughout the whole thing, and that women are superior, but this guy's in charge. It's just like, I wonder if that was deliberate. I wonder if they're going to do something with that. Like I said, I've only watched the first episode, but I hope that's kind of deliberate and they're kind of going to address that and do something with that, because otherwise it's just super hypocritical and kind of dumb. Although I do like the casual Hail Satans throughout the entire thing. I actually found that really funny. Actually, another thing I like Salem, because as soon as she was doing her summoning ritual to get her familiar in the woods, I was like, well, we all know it's going to be Salem. We know it's going to be the Black Cat Salem from the show. I haven't actually seen, me and my boyfriend, we haven't read the comics, we've only seen the show, like in the 90s or whatever. So my boyfriend was disappointed that Salem didn't talk and wasn't the sarcastic bastard that he was in the show. I was a little disappointed, but I get it. But yeah, as soon as she was summoning him, I was like, you know it's going to be Salem, you know it's going to be this black cat. So he's a cat, he's not going to show up in time, he's going to show up when it's like super inconvenient in a really odd way, because he's a cat. So yeah, so I like Salem, I like the way he acts during the thing, I like the way he saves her from the Scarecrow and the Haymaze. And he's just he's a nice little character, even though he doesn't talk, which I really enjoyed. I really liked it. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about the ants. Zelda, I could take or leave her character. She seems very appearance conscious. Hilda I like a bit better. I kind of like the hippie witches who are all into herbal remedies and things like that. But of course, it actually works for her because she's a witch. And but I don't know. There's something about the actress. I think I've seen her in other things, and she just kind of rubs me the wrong way. She's just something in the way she delivers lines and stuff. It just kind of irritates me. So I wasn't like super on board with her. And another thing I want to talk about is Sabrina herself, because have you ever known a 16-year-old teenage girl to be that assertive? And I get that she's a witch and she's got power, and she'd probably have a bit more self-confidence than the average 16-year-old, but she is very, very on top of everything, and she's got her shit together, and she's just a girl in high school. No, nobody has their shit together. Nobody's that confident all the time. I think my favourite scene with her was when she was in her kitchen with her aunts and she was doubtful about whether she wanted to go through with the dark baptism, to sign her name over Satan and be a witch forever, basically. And she basically was annoyed that she didn't have control over her life, and that was the most realistic scene that they had with her, was when, because that was like a typical teenager-y thing to do, because you have no control over your life, and that's what I liked. I didn't like the rest of the scenes where she's like completely in control of every situation. Well, not like every situation, obviously she gets attacked and like different things like that, and but she acts very confident, and every scene she's like never phased, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. And another thing I liked, the way they portray the powers is very self-centered. It's very self-gratification. It's all about the way it makes you feel. They keep describing it as delicious, and sort of the euphoria that you feel when you're using these powers. And I like that because Sabrina is obviously different because she's got this connection to the mortal world. The only really time that we see her use her powers, yeah, there's a couple of scenes where she's using it to help herself, like she's trying to get rid of a hex and stuff, she's trying to get through the maze, but the first sort of big spell that we see her use is the one where she's using it to hex her principal, to try and get him to take a couple of days off so she can get this club set up to help her friend. But it is to help her friend, and it's for non-selfish reasons. She wants to do this to make sure that her friends are okay after she leaves. And I think that's very interesting about her character, because every other witch that we see uses their powers for selfish ends, selfish means. Selfish means and ends. And they all talk about how good it feels for them, and how if she doesn't go through the dark baptism, she won't feel that good again. But for her, it's obviously not about that. It's about trying to help her friends. And she has this connection because she's half mortal with her friends and with her boyfriend, and she wants to help them. And I think that's really, really interesting. I really like that aspect of it. So yeah. Editing in it, you could take or leave. Especially, like, you can tell when witchcrafty things are going to happen. They do this, like, soft focus thing at the edges. And it just got a little bit irritating for me. It just, like, I suppose because you could tell what was coming. You knew that there was going to be like a sort of witchcrafty thing happening if it was soft focus at the edges. But also because it just looks a bit off to me. What else? There's other things I wanted to talk about. Sucky bitches is my new favourite insult. Although, yeah, that scene, the three witches just show up out of nowhere and then hex her and then wander off again. And it's just like, okay, that was random. You just wanted to do this so she could have a blood curse. And there's a scene in, she's in the, they get her naked uncomfortably often for someone who's under 16. But I suppose only 4 days under 16, and I'm from Britain, so she's legal, technically. She's 4 days off of legal for me, so I'm allowed to admire her, but all you Americans are out of luck. But yeah, they get her uncomfortably naked quite a lot. She's scrubbing off a hex in a scene in the showers, but there's a scene where she's in a bathtub and she has a sort of vision or dream about her parents, and yeah, they show a lot of her body, and I'm like, you guys, I get that the actress is 18 or over, but the character is under 16, you guys, maybe back off a little bit. So yeah, I was a bit on that. Yeah, is there any time in a show where somebody's died and they say it's an accident and it has actually been an accident? I felt like they were putting huge air quotes around accident, and it's just like, yeah, sure, accident, that's fine. But like, one of these days I'd like to see a show where they investigate everything and it turns out it was actually just an accident, because, you know, stuff like that happens in real life. That would be nice. Even to witches. I'm sure accidents can happen to witches. So yeah, another thing that's really awkward, I think it's probably just going to be a problem with this first episode, but they really need to work on their exposition. Every bit of the exposition was super clunky. Just like really, really clunky. I have no idea why, but they just really could not do exposition well. Just every single time it was, hey character who already knows this information, I shall tell you this in a super awkward way, even though you already know this all already, just in case there happens to be an audience watching who doesn't know this information. And it's so awkward. It's exactly like that in every single scene where they're doing exposition. And especially with Ambrose, I don't know what it is about the actor, but there's something about him just can't do exposition. I know, I do actually like Ambrose. I think there's an air about him that I like. It doesn't even have that much to do / say outside of exposition, but there's just something about him I like. Maybe it's just the way the actor holds himself, or like his expressions or something throughout scenes, but no, I really liked him. I thought he was cool. Person who plays the evil witch in school, can't remember her name, and you'll notice I'm not saying any actors or actresses' names. That's because I'm terrible with names. Even if I knew them already, I'd just be like, I refer to them as characters, so I know the person who plays the evil witch as the person who plays Missy from Doctor Who. So, but they made her hot in this. I mean, damn, I'm not usually into older women, but damn. Like, she's nice in this. She's very nice. And, yeah, the guy who plays Moist von Litvig in Going Postal, in the adaptation of Going Postal, he shows up at the end as the, high priest head witch or whatever. So, he showed up and I was like, don't believe anything he said, Sabrina, he's a con man. So, that made my boyfriend laugh quite a lot. But no, we both, and I've been ragging on it a lot, but we did actually enjoy this, the first episode. I think I'm going to try and watch the rest of it. I hope it does get a lot less clunky with the exposition. I hope that Susie gets more to do. I hope that Salem is in it a lot more. Like, he probably will. I mean, he's her familiar, so he's going to be with her wherever, and she's the main character. So I would quite like a lot more of him, because he's really good. I like him. Maybe it's just because I'm a cat person. I like cats. So yeah, so that was my take on the first episode of Sabrina. It's my first attempt at a vlog, and I do realise this is very long and rambly, and it probably sounds awful because I'm not in my recording cupboard. I'm just sitting on my bed because I am ill, and whatever illness this is just will not go away. And yes, I do realise it's wonderfully ironic that for Lupus Awareness Month I started doing these videos and then got a really bad illness, which means that it makes it really hard to do the Lupus videos. So yeah, but no, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy rambling and ranting into a microphone. And I like talking about older stuff. I don't just watch, listen, read, kids media. I love horror. I love, I'm really into horror. I love Halloween because it's the one time of year I can actually get my boyfriend to watch horror movies. Because we really do not like the same movies, like, at all. He's really into action. I'm really into feely, drama-y films and horror films. But the only thing we agree on is superhero films. So yes, this is the one time of year I can get him to watch horror films. So I really enjoy this time of year. It's a really good time of year for me. So if this works out well, I might do a few more of these. Just talking about, I don't know, whatever I want to talk about. TV shows, movies, whatever. Maybe stuff that doesn't fit into my usual not just for kids categories. I will be trying to get out my depression video this week. I'm definitely going to try and get it out this week. But my Halloween episode on Coraline, looking at both the movie and the book, that's probably not going to be out until after Halloween, but it'll still be about Halloween, so it might be a bit odd. So apologies for that coming out late. But yeah, the joys of having lupus, it just means that sometimes you can't get stuff done. And I'm okay with that. Hope you're okay with that. It's just something that has to get done because I'm ill, and so yeah, you're just gonna have to take it as it comes, unfortunately. After that, I'm gonna try and keep to my weekly schedule. Usual sort of things like that. I've got the Iron Giants lined up. I'm gonna try and check out this new show on Netflix called Heidi. I've heard good things about it. I'm going to try and get Moana done because I actually watched it for the first time a couple of weeks ago with my dad, and I want to get a video done in that. If you've got any suggestions, if you want to see anything talked about either this vlog style, or if you want something that's kid related on the usual show, just give us a shout. I've got lots of stuff lined up. I've got there's the Terry Pratchett kids books I want to talk about. There's lots and lots of kids films that I absolutely love. Pretty much every Disney film is on the list. When it gets to Christmas time, I'm going to be talking about Arthur Christmas, one of my favourite Christmas movies, things like that. So yeah, so I've got a lot lined up, and I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys. It's just it's a good thing that I want to do. I'm enjoying doing this. Yeah, I've wanted to do YouTube videos for a long time, and sort of finally got my thumb out of my butt and actually got around to doing it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and I shall see you when I finally get this video done. And thank you for listening. So I'm a little loopy, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.